FPL Gameweek 31 wildcards with chip strategy options. Guys, we got a lot to cover. Confirmed fixtures, who's going to be the best AM between 31 and 33, when should we play our trips? It's a lot, so let's get into it. All right, guys. As you know, the fixtures have been confirmed for Game Week 33 and Game Week 34. Arsenal, City, Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa will be doubling, and that means those teams specifically will also be blanking in Game Week 34. So now that really allows you to start planning ahead. We haven't got anything, of course, for Game Week 36 and 37, but we do have a bit of an understanding with these ones having been confirmed according to how the fixture gurus, Ben Krillin, check him out on Twitter/X at Ben Krillin. The mere fact that these have been confirmed the way he predicted, then we should have, it should give us an idea or like confirmation that like the way we're also looking at Game Week 36 and Game Week 37, because that's when the FA Cup final is going to be, is somewhat very close to being exactly that way. So there's potentially the game fixtures where people who do make it to the final for Game Week for FA Cup being moved from 37 to 36. So that is just something to keep in mind. But what we're going to do is going to go through the best chip strategies in terms of all scenarios and of what chips have been used and what chips haven't been used, and also wildcarding and having wildcarded already. So I think the best thing to do is firstly start off with the first actual transfer tips when it comes to players, because there are a lot of players in question which we are thinking about. So first one on the block, Morgan Rogers. He's going to be doubling soon. I think Morgan Rogers is the best Aston Villa asset to have, because we're just not sure about the others. His minutes are always secure. Foden, should you stick or should you twist? I think you should stick. Him having not played in Game Week 30 means he most likely should be playing. Anthony Gordon, I think wait until you actually hear from Eddie Howe, see what the actual situation is, and then make your decision from there if you're wildcarding. Gabriel, you need to twist. Is Arsenal still the best team to go for? I think we still have to hear about Jurien Timber, but without Gabriel, the defense is not sound, so I would twist. Bukayo Saka, is it time to actually go for him? Absolutely. For those of you who didn't go for him on wildcard, if you're wildcarding now and if you want to make a transfer in, he's the man to get. Don't even think about it. Isak, again, same thing as Gordon. Wait to hear what Eddie Howe says. I'm in the very same situation as to bringing him in or not, and then make a decision from there. Now, that we've had that, one thing I do want to ask before we carry on is, guys, if you're loving the content, please hit that subscribe button. In all honesty, it really helps, guys, and I really truly appreciate it. It allows me to actually bring you some more great content. So really appreciate it. For all of you that have already hit the subscribe button, get in. So let's go on to the actual first chip strategy, which is having used the wild card and also going to be using the assistant manager right now. So I think first point is you've most likely used the wild card already in the Game Week 30. Who's the best AM manager to go for right now? Now, it really depends on what actual, how many transfers do you want to be using? If you don't want to be using any transfers at all, the whole point of doing AM now is to try and really get those 5 fixtures, which Glasner actually has. And so I would really just stick it on Glasner. Yeah, it sucks that Brighton's not a bonus fixture, but at least you've got Brighton at home, and then you've got somewhat bonus fixtures with Newcastle, Man City, and you've also got one with Arsenal as well, and hope for the best really when it comes to Bournemouth. If you do have transfers, then you can start to really look for like other people, other managers as well. I think Thomas Frank has got a bonus fixture. Look, in all honesty, I would just be sticking it on Glasner. I really wouldn't be looking anywhere else. I feel like Crystal Palace is really a good enough team. if you really just want to stay safe, then fine, you can stick it on. I think Newcastle's really safe in my opinion. They've got Leicester, and then after that they play Man United and Crystal Palace as well, so you get 4 fixtures. And then if you want to move and you've got those actual you've got a transfer, then you can take it up to Arteta, where he's got an Ipswich and Crystal Palace. You still do get 5 fixtures there, and you're somewhat on the safe side as well, because you're going from playing Leicester and then you're going to a double game week at 2 home fixtures, and then you're going game week 33 where you're going against Ipswich and Crystal Palace, so you should be in the safe zone there. Then when it comes to having the other chips, I would play the triple captain in game week 36. And reason being, if I can just move of theirs, because as we mentioned before, game week 36 is when we're expecting to have other doublers as well. So there you should have a Man City doubling Southampton and Bournemouth as well. So there could be a Mamouche option there. Bench boost really whenever you feel like your team is actually in the best situation, because your team would really be different at that time. It's really team dependent. So bench boost whenever you feel like you're good. But I would most likely, of course, free hits in 34, of course, to avoid those blanks. As well. So yeah, that's my prediction when it comes, my solution when it comes to that situation. Now let's take a look at another option there. So let's take a look at this next chip strategy. The next chip strategy where you are wildcarding in game week 31. This is what your team, I've put a wildcard together for those wildcarding now, and who are looking to triple captain in game week 32. And then game week 33, you play the bench boost. And then, of course, later on in the game weeks 35 to 38, you can choose when exactly you want to play your AM chip. As you can see, you would still have 4 fixtures there. So you can really choose as to when. I'm not going to go and say, hey, take this manager, because by that time things can be very different. Table bonus as well could be very different. But this isn't the case where you've already used your free hit, say on game week 29 or something else. But yeah, in goals you have Edison there, Munoz and Guardiola with Burn. The aim there, of course, with bench boosting in 33, everybody here has actually got a double. So you're sort of looking at a great team where you don't have to make any transfers from now till actual game week 33, where you can actually bench boost, because everybody here is going to be doubling. And then you can triple captain Isak, which is why I think who's got the best captaincy fixtures in game week 32. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at this chip strategy here. Just to go through the team as well, continue going through the team. In the midfield, you've got Salah, who's the only single game week player, but I just feel like having Salah is essential in your teams, in all honesty. It's your decision. You can choose to not have him or have him, but I think he's essential just because of how explosive he can be. He has like a Leicester City game in game week 32 as well. So when everybody has great doublers, he's great in game week 33. When everyone has great doublers, he's got a good fixture. Saka's in the team, Rogers in the team, Eze's in the team with Mateta. Mamouche, of course, completing the triple up there for City, and then Isak as well with Murphy completing the triple up, Newcastle, Saliba on the bench, and Luka Dean there as well. So yeah, again, there's things you can change if you want. You can actually go for a Watkins. It really is dependent on you and your actual team value. My team value is just about 104.8, so that's what this team was able to actually afford me. So your team value will definitely be different, but enablers like Jacob Murphy and Burn are also there, as well as going, if you want to, cheaper in the goalkeeping department as well. So those are options that you can actually have when it comes to this chip strategy. Now let's go to the third chip strategy option, where you are wildcarding now, and you are actually gonna triple captain. So let me just see. I want to make sure. 32. it just looks similarly the same. Oh, you've used your free hit on this one. So you actually, okay, cool, yes. So in this one here, you're gonna wildcard now. You're gonna use your AM chip later. You'll still triple captain on Isak, and then you're gonna bench boost and 33 as well. But free hit in a game week 34 because you still have your free hit. So this is somewhat like still having all of your chips, quite frankly. Which if you do, then wow, lucky you. But this is the best optimal where I think you can actually use all your chips. If you do have all of your chips and you haven't used them, this would be the team that I'd have right now. A bit different from the team that I have. So in goals, I have Edison. I've got Munoz as well there, along with Guardiola and 8 Nori for this game week. Good entry point with Ipswich, playing Ipswich there. Got Mo Salah, of course, with the captaincy so far. Then Saka there with Semenyo and Eze in the midfield. Jacob Murphy on the bench. Then I have the front three, which is the template front three of Mateta, Isak, and Marmoush. And of course, moving on to game week 32, game week 33, you will have some transfers in you, so you can still make the decision of whether or not you can actually make that Isak swap to Watkins to actually have the double in game week 33 if you want, and bring in other Aston Villa players as well if you choose. And then of course you can free hit in game week 34 because you would have brought in a lot of players who are doubling in game week 33 where they're actually blanking in game week 34. So it allows you to actually avoid having to have a whole lot of blankers in game week 34. So then looking at game week 36, I would then start building a team to make sure that I have enough players who double, or the essential players who double in 36, and then of course maneuver 37 with no chip, because that's most likely what a lot of us are going to have to be doing. And the players who really allow you to do that are also going to be Nottingham Forest players who right now currently seem to be playing all their games. Their game hasn't moved out of game week 34, so they will be playing in game week 34. But might, and potentially, depending on how far they go in the FA Cup, still actually have fixtures. Still also have fixtures in game week, double game fixtures in game week 36. Now that's just want to say I get all this information and put all of this together myself, of course, using the tools from Fantasy Football Hub. There is a 7-day free trial using the link in the description below. Along with that, you can get 30%. So if you are building your wildcard and you want to get a team rating, there's the team rating tool, and you can also see the forecast of your team, so you can actually plan your transfers. You can actually see who are the best managers. You can also see the fixture ticker over there as well, and you can plan your chips all on one platform. It's amazing, guys. I really do prescribe it. It really helps just clear everything up for you and just put everything in front of you. And it uses Ben Quillen's predicted fixtures as well. So grab the link in the description, use the 7-day free trial right now. It's a great time to actually use it. This is the best time and opportunity to help plan you and your team. After the 7-day free trials, if you're happy, you get your 30% off. If you're not, you can just end the subscription, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. Cool. Now let's go on to the other option, where you have used your wildcard, you've used your AM chip already, you've also used your triple captain, and all you got is your bench boost and your free hit. Now, in that case, it's really just using those in the most optimal time, which is the double game weeks, and that for me is in game week 33 and game week 36, because that's where in bench boost you'll have 12. In game week 33 you'll have 12 teams. You'll be able to get 12 players who are doubling, and so maneuvering to that as well is possible, of course, with transfers, depending on if you have transfers. But if you don't, it's always important to just have the essential players, so players that people are most likely going to want to captain. So like for game week 33, it's having a player like Watkins, it's having a player like Saka, who you know is going to be very important for the entire community, who people are going to want to captain. It's having some Man City assets as well, like Mamouche, making sure you have those players at least that the template is going to have, so that you don't miss out on points. And of course, if you want to go differential, then yeah, go differential on some other players. But the most optimal time to use those chips, if you don't have the other chips, is in double game weeks. I feel like people who use the free hits in a use the free hits in a blank game week, I feel like it's a waste, man, because you could be using it to get extra fixtures, you know. And the blank game weeks, there's enough fixtures for you to maneuver. So that's why for me, I'm like, nah, use this thing in a double game week where you know you're going to be getting the most out of it, rather than in a blank game week getting single playing game week players. So that's my solution when it comes to that chip strategy. Now, the last chip strategy before I do, and you're still around, guys, please hit that subscribe button. I mean, you're still around. Clearly you find something helpful, and let me tell you something, it gets better. I'm here every week telling you, hey, this is what you gotta do, this is what you can go for, and this is what you can't go for. So please, honestly, help a brother out. Hit that subscribe button. Again, as I mentioned, for those of you who are already subscribed, get in. Thanks, guys. Let us go on to our last chip strategy. And our last chip strategy is, if you've used Wildcard, Assistant Manager, and you still have your triple captain, I need some water. Please bear with me. You use your triple captain, you got your triple captain, and you still got your bench boost and your free hit. Wow. I would stick my triple captain still on Isak. I feel like he's got great fixtures in that game week 32. Let's just look at that game week there on the right hand side. 2 home fixtures, Crystal Palace and Man United. I don't want to be waiting to see if Manchester City is going to get that Southampton and then stick it on Mamouche. I think that would be risky, in my opinion. That's just like real risk. And yes, City are the favorites to really go through to the final. But Isak's right there with 2 home fixtures. He's fit. You know, his team is also going to be fit. Like, Gordon's going to be back. Like, everybody's going to be there. Just stick it on Isak. Bench boost, I stick with what I say. Game week 33, because you can get 12 players doubling. Free hit then, game week 34, if you're going to bench boost game week 33, because you're getting a whole lot of the players in who are doubling, and so you need to kind of bail yourself out. But if you're not bench boosting, then and let's say you decide to bench boost in game week 36, then you can use your free hits in game week 37 to get yourself out of all of those players that you are doubling in 36 and are blanking in 37. So it's really trying to use those 2 chips in conjunctions to help you bail out of loading up on doublers who are actually going to be blanking in the next game week. It's so tough when you don't have the free hit to try and bail you out. You actually have to maneuver those game weeks where you're blanking and you're also trying to load up on doublers. So yeah, those are my solutions when it comes to those chip strategies. Let me know in the comment section if there is anything specific that I have missed out that you guys want me to cover. I'll definitely answer you in the comments. I love answering your guys' questions in the comments. Honestly, please hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate it if you've made it this far. And yeah, I'll see you guys, and good luck for game week 31.